you all have a copy of Legion's March 29th letter to the governor. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
And I don't think that the governor has ever seen this letter. I don't think he's had an opportunity to read it. I don't think his staff has shown him this letter. And I hope I'm wrong, but it just seems to me that we would have gotten a better response. This is an issue that I thought that we wouldn't need to go to the city and to the county about. When I wrote the letter, I was the historian, and now I'm the commander-elect. I'll be sworn in August the 6th as commander of Post 91. And if you breeze through the letter, you'll see that there's 3 opportunities for the DNR, Department of Natural Resources, to build a new fishing pier. And we think that the current one where the old fishing pier was is probably the worst possible site of the 3. And you can breeze through all 3, come to our site. We regret that DNR has not, for whatever reason, communicated with us. And we'll get that if I still have time at the end. We'll get to that. But the Legion site has about 12 parking spots. It's like a little matchbox. So, when after the fire and we reopened and the fishing increased on the bridge, we had to hire a towing company to tow vehicles off of our parking lot. The neighborhood association had to have cars towed away. They put signs up. I think it was a burden on your police department. If you'll go back and look at the records, and also as far as the post is concerned, I'm speaking for 478 Legionnaires. We have 390 Sons of the Legion, 350 auxiliary members for 1,218 members, and we plan to grow. We do well raising money by law, which goes back to the 1980s. 50% of all the slot machine money goes to charities. We have a press release that I'll read to you if I can find it in a reasonable time. And it says on the Dorchester Post 91 announced that on Tuesday, July 9th, the Post will donate $8,500 to the City of Cambridge Police Department at our building on 98 Sunburst Highway. This is one of many checks donated to 67 community-based organizations, totaling $120,620. So we feel that, as you at your moment of silence stated, we think about everybody in our community. As I said, I said every volunteer fire company in Dorchester County will receive a check, and whether you agree with us or not, this time next year we will be giving another check to the Cambridge Police Department. We are a community organization, but we think it's very meaningful that we have this conversation regarding the new fishing pier and the demolition of the other 2. It's odd that DNR doesn't contact us because we're the closest neighbor to any of the fishing piers. But we have not been able to communicate with them directly. You'll see an answer to the letter that we wrote, which was 2 months after the letter that we wrote. And the reason we got that reply was because I was in the Senate when Derek Davis was chairman of the Senate House Ways and Means Committee. Now he's the state treasurer. I called him directly to ask if we could get an answer to our letter. And also, obviously, I'm friends with the president of the Senate, being a former state senator, and Bill Ferguson, Senator Ferguson's office, said they gave him a deadline, and this was the afternoon of that deadline. They also went on further to say that they had given an answer to me, which I regret that they would say such a thing, because they haven't. I think that maybe they haven't made up their mind. They don't know what they're going to do. I was assured today by people close to DNR that the money is there to build at least 2 new fishing piers. Obviously, the Talbot site's a great one for the Talbot side, and we think that the Sailwinds Visitor Center is the ideal place to put one if you have a new walkway around the property and tied in with a fishing pier. You've got a public boat ramp there, but our site is just a matchbox. Do we support a new fishing pier? Yes, we do. We think it's great for the community. We're not against a fishing pier. We just think if hundreds of thousands of dollars are going to be spent, but demolition and construction of new fishing piers, they ought to be put in the proper spots. That's it briefly. I could point some things out in the letter. I think I've used about 10, maybe 7 minutes.
Go ahead.
Does anybody have any questions at this point? We haven't seen the memorandum of understanding, but we understand Talbot County has one for their side. A good point, I talked to Bill Christopher of the Chamber, and he says the Chamber really supports one at that site, the Visitor Center side. And he said DNR told him that if we could get the city and the county on the same page, that they thought DNR would agree to such a site. And I know that that's been fairly difficult in past history, always getting the city and the county aboard. But I think this is a good opportunity to start a new era with the city and the county supporting us. We've been in touch with the county, and been put on the agenda. They have a copy of this letter. Again, the letter pretty much explains everything. We're very distraught. DNR doesn't seem to communicate with us, but we think they will with the city and the county, particularly if you join together in the site that you both like. And for instance, when the governor comes to Mako in August, I think he could take 15 minutes out of his schedule and actually see what we're looking at, the Talbot site, American Legion site, and the Visitor Center site. And this is supposed to be the year of the veteran, and it's more than just a statement, it's backed by action. We just want the new fishing pier to be put in the proper place. And it would just create all kinds of problems to put it in the 2 existing places, the 1 existing on the Dorchester side in front of us. And we've got that history. I think your police department can show the records of having to go down Radiance Drive. They say they have 1,000 visitors a day. If they put a lot of money and make these fishing piers even greater, because of course this was the old Emerson Heritage Bridge, never meant to be a fishing pier. Cities can be built much better, much more community oriented. That even more people will come into the fishing piers. But 12 parking spots is just not adequate. I think I'd like to see if you have any questions. I may want to come again, so I mean, I'm not welcome.